So we have a nice little relief bounce happening in the market at the moment. I am planning a very big trade. I see volatility starting to enter back in the market. I had one attempt on Thursday, which was a slight little stoppage. And then the market ended up going down quite a bit further than that. So I was very happy with that. And then I thought, okay, cool. I have a weekend with the boys. Let me go have some fun with the boys. And then when I get back now, let's catch the rhythm. Let's wait for the mess to get out. We had Bitcoin hitting the $17,000 500 mark. We had ETH going to $1,000, which is quite crazy. We're very close to that range over there as well. And now the big question is, was that the bottom? And what are we trading? And I'm at that point now where I don't care what fundamentals and these things are saying. I'm very clear on what the chart is telling me, and it is telling me big volatility has entered the market, especially within the altcoins. And that may not have been the bottom just yet, but there's massive trades coming up, guys. It's excited to get onto this run together. I decided to start doing these shows before the live shows when I go live, so that you are prepped and you are ready, so that there's no questions about, oh, what are we trading? What are we that? If you get it first and you're able to get the trades, even when I'm going live and the stuff's done, that's the purpose of it. I want to show you what we are looking for. I want you to put it on your damn charts. And when something is telling you to trigger is when you trigger, and this is what you do when it goes this way, and this is what happens when it goes the other way. So there's no more confusion. So I want to do that today. I'm going to be giving you guys the leverage section of what I'm trading next on leverage. I'm going to show you what I'm trading on margin. I'm showing you what I'm doing on my spot wallet, and I'm showing you what I'm doing on my long-term wallet as well. This is a massive, massive, massive show. No more wasting time. Let's get into it.
Click, click.
Hit it, car.
Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click, click, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click, click. Enter the sniper. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam, what's happening? I hope you're all having a fantastic day out there. I hope you had a good weekend as well. I had a great weekend with the boys. We got some good time out. We went go-karting. We started this little challenge where the boys go go-karting. We do some fun activities together. The top 5 guys won some cash, won some money. And the losers had to jump out of airplane. So I got excited videos coming out on that. I think it's a lot of fun spending time with friends. But what was great about it is I did 2 or 3 short-term trades last week to fund the whole weekend. And I think that was the beautiful part of it was learning how to make the funds, to spend it, to make the funds and to spend it, and to set these specific targets. And remember what I was saying, every single trade is calculated. So it's really, really, really cool what we're busy with. We've got a lot of exciting things coming. I don't know if you guys have enjoyed the Well Games. I think the Well Games is fantastic. We're going to be having a lot within the live trading show as well. Now, there's a possibility in the next 2 hours I'm live. I know Rand's got a show, but we might have to cut him and say, sorry, Rand, the time is to trade is now. Or it'll be in a few hours, all depending on what the chart gives us next. So that is coming very soon. So the first thing I want you guys to be doing is, if you are joining, guys, and you're part of this now, the first thing is, if you go have a look underneath, is to look to get your signups, your ByBit accounts. Make sure you cannot win any prizes on the Well Games without your Binance, your ByBit, or any of these exchanges below. Remember, you get lots of bonuses with them as well, up to a $4,200 bonus on ByBit. Binance, you get $600. Remember, these are big things, firstly, of supporting the channel, and you need these accounts. These accounts I'm going to be running live when I'm trading as well. And remember, you want to keep your accounts separate as well. I'm going to go through very important things today about the risk and how we're splitting our portfolios for the next 2 weeks. What section of our portfolios are we trading on leverage? What are we doing on margin? What are we doing on spot? What are we doing long term? It's time to bring it all together. I think we've had a lot of good time of trading together, but now it's time to put it all together to say we have different parts of our portfolios. How do we trade all of them at once? And how do we do it in the current market that we're in right now? And what are we looking to get in the next 3 to 6 months? I think it's time for us to finally build the whole strategy together and to work on that. So please, guys, sign up below with any of these exchanges. It supports the channel and it allows you to win any of our prizes, as well as being part of the live trading show. So let me just click on here. And remember, guys, follow me on Twitter, Sheldon_Sniper, all of our social media platforms, as well as the website, as well as the newsletter. If you go look at my Twitter profile, subscribe to the newsletter. I'm giving you guys daily calls and daily updates on that as well. So, guys, let's get into it. Let's go see what has happened. We had Bitcoin, which came down to 17,500. This is currently what I'm seeing before I get into the strategies and how I'm trading the market next. I think we learned last week, the stops are good. They happen at times. You can start to see that if you don't set your range properly between the stops, sometimes it can stop a little bit further. It's all lessons along the journey. But now people, you know what I loved about it? People are starting to learn stop losses. They actually have one in. They actually have these things in play. Like for me, it's we're breaking ground. We're breaking resistance when it comes to knowledge and a community together. So that's really, really good. So the first thing that happened was we basically started, I said it yesterday on Run Show, that we started this downward sort of channel, right? And we wanted to see one thing. We wanted to see that Bitcoin finally sort of secures some sort of higher high first. So we broke out of this channel. So we had all of this mess. And when you have the mess, you get to a point of where you start to form some sort of pattern or something. And you can see we basically started to form this channel. And within this channel, you know, you do get the break of resistances. What does that mean? It means we're basically changing trend of current trend that we used to be into or that we were currently in. And it usually gives you a little indication that something is changing in the market. Now, in order for that to be successful, if you want to call it, is when you break a trend, it's very important to get the higher high, because then it's just confirming the second step. Remember, you got a trend line that helps you show you when the market changes trend. But there's 2 or 3 steps to know that this is a secure break. It's a real break. It's actually something that it's worth me taking. And when we break out of that, what you want to see is the higher high point. So we wanted to see Bitcoin finally get above 21K 500. This is shorter time frame right now. I'll go to larger time frame shortly. That's what we wanted to see. Okay. And that gives us a confirmation. Okay, wow, like we're getting a little bit of a push here. What I am seeing next is the next resistance for Bitcoin is sitting at 23,000. Now, will that hit today? It will be really good if it does, because what would happen if it does do that is I basically start to see that there's a inverse head and shoulders that's forming, which would actually be really nice on a higher time frame for us to actually get, is for us to have this left shoulder here, to have this shoot all the way up to this area over here, come back, test, and then we can finally get Bitcoin back to 25K, 28K. We know what that obviously means for the alts, and I'll go through the dominant shortly, but that's ideally what we want to see at the zone. Now, what I'm also doing is I'm at that point where I don't trust the market. Okay. I'm just at that point where I don't trust it, where we got some volume here on the 4-hour, but when I went to the daily, this bounce for me was a cute bounce. It wasn't a manly bounce. It wasn't the bounce that I expected. I don't know about you guys, but 2-3 months ago, if we said Bitcoin's going to go to 20K, like a lot of us would sit there and say, like, we will see the biggest bounce ever if we go to those zones. And all we got was this cute little bounce. Like, that's all that we got. So for me, it's like, okay, like, you know, maybe they really want to suck this market completely dry to the end. Obviously, we have the stock market looking weak too. So I'm not, you know, I'm looking at 2 scenarios, 2 different ways on where the market can go next. Okay. The first one, like I said, we shoot to 20 over here. We then have a strong pullback back to 20. You can see this is a 20% range. It's a big range. It's over 10% on Bitcoin and 25% on altcoins. So traders, you can already see the traders' eyes are sparking up. And then we can have a strong little shoot. Or what I'm basically going to look at here is how, let me just get this removed here. There we go. Or what I'm looking at is us basically from here tracking this momentum up over here And if we don't seclude, so if we don't get through 23K on this next leg up, I still think we are coming down. And I think, Al Capo or whatever, the 16K makes sense. You are Kyle also speaking about the 16K levels as well. If we don't get through 23K soon, in my opinion, or at least go touch that range, 16K is coming, and it's coming quite quickly. So I also know that now. So, okay, so I got a move that can take Bitcoin from 21 to 23. Okay, cool. Or I have the move of, let me track this momentum. And if we don't lose that, we can be looking at a 16K. We can be looking at another 25% drop in Bitcoin, which is quite massive. So when I look at that now, I say, okay, cool. And I just go look at this quickly, the point of dominance. And you can see how dominance has completely been sucked within the altcoins, which surprised me quite a bit. But at some point, we can see how the stock has been trailing down here. We're going to have a dominance push. So when this dominance pushes up here, if we do have a collapse to 16K, you're going to see a very hard leg down within the altcoins, the one that takes ETH, to 700, to these sort of zones. But, it gives me the indication that if Bitcoin pumps to 23K now, this is going up. If Bitcoin dumps, this is going up. Like, so as are starting to at least turn back to Bitcoin, which was the confusing part. Like, why were they selling off into alt so much at this time? And we'll soon see. We'll soon see exactly. But at least we started sort of getting the full package of that. Now, stock markets also got completely smashed, but we do have the stochastic rolling at the bottom here. So as Gareth was saying yesterday, a little relief bounce to these areas makes sense. That can get Bitcoin to 23K, anywhere there. And then we can be looking at another leg down in the stock markets. So right now we're in the middle of no man's land. Okay. But all that I see is there's a lot of volatility entering the markets. So this is how I'm trading it. This is what I'm doing. So for the first one that I want to get through here is, let me go through quickly. Before I jump into the leverage trade, let me get into the spot accounts. Now, remember what I spoke about with spot accounts, that when these weeklies get to the bottom, the stochastic RSIs, when they get to these areas over here, it's time to build a damn portfolio. It's not about the exact bottom. It's the area of where we are accumulating and where we're building our market, building our portfolios. And here it's saying very much like, restructure your damn portfolio and leave it in and get ready now, because this over here, maybe it stays another week or so, but the weekly stochastic is running down at the bottom. The last time it ran at the bottom was these areas over here, where we did get a response of Bitcoin from 33K all the way back to 48K. So there was a big response in that area over there. And now we're at that same zone again. So it's telling you definitely not to panic out within your long terms. It's telling me, where can I dollar cost to build my long terms right now? Now, I've changed my strategy slightly. Now, remember when I spoke about when this is in this area over here, I do like 20% into high risk tokens. I do some into medium risk, and I do some into safe hodl, right? But then I'm like, I'm tired of these damn coins collapsing, and I'm tired of choosing between 8,000 tokens. So I decided to screw that stuff. I'm building Bitcoin and ETH and USDT now. That's my new strategy right now. Instead of me getting into higher risk tokens, I would rather take higher risk trades, as in smaller leverage or smaller margin positions, and I'd rather trade them on major alts. So now I'm not shifting to go to a very volatile coin, because why do people get into small coins? Because it's going to make them a lot of money, right? But they're also very volatile as shit. And when the market goes into a bad place, they get completely destroyed. Now, the problem is with the little coins is we never put stop losses. We never put these things. When we're doing higher risk trading, we're putting stop losses on every trade. We're putting these sort of things. So I'm like, instead of me like taking all of these shitty coins, why don't I start building a higher risk portfolio that I trade within leverage and margin, and rather trade Bitcoin or ETH or AVAX or any of these tokens? So I'm entering the same sort of view, and I'll make just as much money as a shitcoin. Why? Because a shitcoin does maybe 3x or 5x of what Bitcoin does. Some of them maybe 10x. But if you're on a 5x and you're running some of these portfolios, you're making just the same amount of money. But at least I'm not in a shit coin now, a coin that drops 60, 70%. At least I can trade ETH now. I can trade Bitcoin now with the same amount of growth and the same amount of money. So when it gets to these stages that these RSIs are getting flatlined like this, I'm getting that portfolio ready now for a good 2-3 weeks of growth. May it come from tomorrow, may it come next week. Ideally, it is telling me to have a higher risk portfolio ready. So I am not trading more. Let me explain to you quickly what I'm doing here. First thing, I'm creating a leverage portfolio that all of you guys have seen, right? The problem is people have no idea what percentages they are putting in that. 3 to 5% is my leverage portfolio of my entire portfolio. 3 to 5%. Now, may it be a 2x, 3x, we'll work on that and I'll build that. My margin account will then run over 5%. So in total, I'm running between 8 to 10% on a higher risk portfolio. This doesn't mean shit coins. It means I'm only trading 5 coins for the whole year. I'm changing it now, guys. I'm done with this shit now. I'm trading 5 coins for the whole year. Okay. And that's my higher risk. 10%. That's my margin. That's my leverage. Great. Then I'm going 30 to 40% a spot wallet now, maybe even 50%. And I'm running maybe 30% long term. Because long term right now, the world's a mess. We can't prep what's going to happen right now. We'll see what happens the rest of the year. But you see how I've restructured that. And you got to have that. By the time the next live trading session, if it happens in 2-3 hours now, I'm going to give you the trades now. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm trading and what I'm doing, what the percentage move that I'm doing. And I think it's going to be a massive trade. But I want you to go in there to say, this is only the percentage of my portfolio that I'm using. And the difference is, think about it now. $10,000 portfolio, right? And I got 10% in higher risk. Okay. So it means I got $1,000 in high risk. Now I've managed to build that account quite nicely. Okay. I managed to triple it, let's say. I managed to triple it 9 the next week. Now it's $3,000, but my account size is only 12 or 11,000. Let's say it's $13,000 now. That means that from 10%, my account now, my higher risk is sitting at 20%. So what does that mean automatically? It means every week you got to rebalance your account, which means you got to take a certain amount of profit out of your high risk now, and you got to go send that into your safer risk. So it's going to teach you not to compound your high risk portfolios. It's going to teach you to grow them slightly, yes, but you got a flushing out system that happens every week with them. And firstly, it's going to inflate your account a lot, but it's beautiful now. Every week, so you're just going to work on a thing that every week that you start, or every second week that you start trading, 10% must be your risk. If it's above, let's say it's 30% of your portfolios in that, you got to flush out the percentages in that, and you got to start with 10% again. It's just a beautiful strategy for us to work with. I want you guys to really focus on the portfolio managing while we're busy with this trading. Please, guys, it's really important. Now let's get into them. What are the trades we're taking? What are we looking at? How big are these damn moves? How volatile is this market? Let's have a look. So my first one, you guys know that I'm starting to trade major alts right now. I'm not going to crazy shorter term ones. Let me get my screen up. No one told me my screen wasn't up. There we go. Now, let me show you guys what I'm seeing. I'm seeing good growth in the market, but I'm seeing a very, very, very clear trend. Very clear trend within the altcoins right now, where we are growing little bit by little bit, higher lows, higher highs, and all that it's doing for me is creating a beautiful damn trend. So if you go to your 1 hour and you go to Solana and you go ride this last wave up that we've just had, you can see over here, we are forming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're coming for our 6th test on this trend line. For me, it's a momentum line. It's a beautiful line to track when we're starting to lose steam and starting to move. And right now, nothing is promising me that Bitcoin is going to 25K, and nothing's promising me, like, for me, any big move can happen. So what I'm looking at here is I'm going to look at shorting between the 3 tokens for now. It will be ADA, it will be Solana, and it will be AVAX. The same as Privet. I'm not changing it right now. I will be longing ETH in the next week, though, and I'll be telling you why, but that's coming next week. That's going to be a great one. But Solana, it's this one, is when we lose the steam. So you can see it can happen in the next 3 to 4 hours that we lose the steam. As soon as I get my first close under this trend line, okay, anywhere in this trend line, and we close under that on the 1 hour, I'm entering 50 to 65% of my position. Okay. What would happen is something like this. Let me paint a picture so you see what happens here. Is this come straight down here, we bounce, we collapse. Okay. In that time, there will be a trend here as well. Okay. Now, why am I saying that? Let me go to my 15-minute. Let me explain to you quickly. If I go to my 15-minute over here, do you see that my stochastic 15 minutes is oversold at the bottom? You see that, right? So that means that we're going to have another attempt up. So from here, it means we're going to have another attempt up. Okay. Then this 15 gets to the top, very similar to what it was previously. We then start to break down. As the 15 minutes starts to break down, we then start to collapse the line. Okay. Now, if I go to the 4 hour, why am I shorting? Why am I looking at that? Look at my higher time frames. So remember, I always jump to the 4 hour, 8 hour, these higher ones to say, okay, like, am I making the decision that I want to short in this range? And you can see here very clearly that this is up there. So that's giving me the indication, okay, cool. Like prepping for a short is a good plan. Okay. So then it will come basically from here. It will go up and we'll crack the line. Once we crack this line and we close under here, I'm entering, like I said, 50, 65% of my portfolio, of my position. Please make sure that you have structured your portfolio in the right way. Please make sure. No more than 10%, guys, in higher risk. Don't do it. Like otherwise you're trading shit coins. It's the same thing. Don't do it. Okay. I'm entering the position there. My stop loss will go above this previous low. I will have this trend line over here. Okay. Then what's going to happen is this will then come down. Let me show you. This will come down to this area over here. Support. It will come back up here. It will test this over here. I will add the remaining of my position in this area over here. Take pictures, guys. Take pictures so that you know what you're doing. Remember, the point of me is not to come here and to give you everything and to just trade like I'm teaching you how to damn do it. I'm teaching you how to do this. So breakout here, 50% to 65% over here. Come down here, come back up, enter in the remaining, my stop loss outside of that trend, and I'm writing this down. Now the 4 hour is showing me that this is worthy of holding it for a little while, because it is showing me that it can take a day or two for this stochastic to get down to the bottom. And it's showing me that from here, I want to come down to this area over here. Now let's work that out percentage wise, because remember, I want you to calculate what you are doing before you do it. Now, if we look at anywhere of the shorting range over here to there, I'm looking at an 18 to a 20%, which is massive, guys. Massive, massive, massive. Okay. Now on this, I'll be running between a 5 to a 6, maybe a 7x max, but we do understand the risk that if you get stopped or something like that, remember that every 1% that it goes wrong, 7% is what you lose of your real capital. So even a 3x, a 2x, let me even break it down for you. If you don't know this game and you don't want to get into it, which I agree 100%, do you know what you do? You can go and short on a 1x, which means no risk in that way, but you can short the market. People think you can't short the market leverage. Go a 1x. If you short on a 1x and you're playing with $10,000 or 20,000, you can short the market. You make dollars. So you don't have to add the 2x, 3x. Remember that. Remember that. So for me, it's entering. If I got $1,000 now that's in my higher risk portfolio, I'm making it $7,000 now. I'm looking at making an 18 to a 20% short stop loss. As soon as we start breaking down to the levels of 33, anywhere there, straight just above entry. Don't move it down too much. Do me one favor. A lot of guys ask, should I move the stop loss down as the trade's moving? Yes, but if you're going to get stopped out, why is it there? So for me, I'd rather exit the position instead of getting stupidly stopped out. Like I leave it at entry and I ride it till the end. People have learned with me that I am so damn patient that whatever I put as the trade that I want, that's the only thing I do. Stop loss to entry, reduce, and only if it hits there is when I'm getting out. Like I'm very, very, very strict with that, which sometimes may seem stupid, but over the last 3 weeks, it's been phenomenal. It's been absolutely incredible. It really, really, really has. So if I get $1,000 on a 5 or 6 or 7x, and I ride this move over here to the downside, I'm making $1,000 to $1,300 on my $1,000. Okay. So my short term, you can see here, the volatility is in. Now, let me show you with the rest here. Look at AVAX. 1 hour, guys. Jump to the 1 hour. I'm going to explain to you the same thing here. Look at that. We're there. We close. Close under here. As soon as it close under here, using the previous high as a stop loss. And as soon as we have this, let me show you. Soon as this breaks over here, entering position, retest, entering the rest, drop down, stop loss under previous low. I'm seeing AVAX come down to this area over here. This is where we're going to be longing absolutely crazy. I'm going to be longing very madly in the next few days. For now, short-term short makes sense to me. Now let's look at AVAX from the percentages of where we're looking at 15 to 17%. This is massive, guys. If you want to learn how this game works, go take $50, go take a 1x and learn how to short. Don't stop rushing. People think they rush. Oh, I'm gonna miss out. I'm gonna miss out. No, BS. You're not gonna miss out. You have to learn how to do it. You have to learn how to put a stop loss. You have to learn how it works. You have to learn how these things work. But you can short the market on a 1x too. So here, this is the AVAX one that I'm looking for. The same thing. If I'm entering here, my stop loss goes up there first. Once it's come up and retest, I put in the rest. Stop loss above there. I write it down. As I'm making lower lows, lower highs, just taking my stop loss to entry, reduce the risk, and I'm riding it home. So these are the ones that I'm looking at there. And let me show you. This one's close. This one's close. Now, why am I showing you this? Because I want you guys I want you to draw these trend lines, and I want you to prep and be ready for when the stuff happens. Remember, guys, if you don't have any accounts, make sure to sign up on our accounts below. Get it ready. There's no point when I'm live and trying to get it ready then. Get it ready. Don't put tons of money in. Put in at least 3 to 5% of capital that ruins risk, and we build it from there. Cardano, same one. It's close. I do think there's a temporary bounce coming up, but Cardano, the same one. I'm seeing Cardano do this. Okay, from here, I'm seeing it going up. I'm seeing it make, I'm seeing it make its first lower high. For now, right? Then I'm seeing the crack, crack, crack. Entry, entry. So when I enter this one, stop loss is there. When I enter that one, stop loss on top of that range. As it drives down, I'll move my stop loss to entry. And that's where I'm moving on this one. This one's not as big as the others. It may catch up a bit more. But this one for me is a good 11%, so 10 to 11%. Now, let me just explain something as well now. What happens? Okay. We're doing this on short time frame. And remember, we're doing trend lines. We're not predicting this is the top. It's going exactly here. As soon as it loses momentum, I'm in. Like that's just how it works. What happens if Bitcoin goes from here and it goes here? Then we can be looking at our TPs being way bigger. The main thing is we're getting the entries, we're getting the risk reduced, because what happens then? This goes down there. You know what I mean? Look at this at AVAX. This goes down there. Like these things go down to a big region. So at least we're starting to understand the range. Now, remember, guys, what I was saying, spot and long term, DCAing is great right now. I think spot is really good as well to be trading on the daily. I think it's good. I'm going to do another show tomorrow or the day after just on spot trading as well. I don't want to get confused. I want to accommodate for everyone as well. But the short-term trades, I'm waiting. Like this is soon, guys. As soon as those things are done, make sure you took pictures of my charts. I'll do it here for you one more time. Take pictures of the charts so that you can start prepping yourself. There's no time with the live trading session. People say, oh, I didn't get that. Like, remember, guys, this is a part for you to learn and to take responsibility and to build this yourselves. Here we go. There's the trend line on Solana. Take the picture. Okay? You got it? Got it? Okay, cool. Let's go to, there's the Cardano one. I got a lot of my drawings here. You can see I love to draw. There's the Cardano one. Pictures, got it, ready. The areas, I'll actually tweet these now quickly for you guys. Is these sort of levels, you'll pick them up as the low first sort of support. There's the Cardano one. Let's get the AVAX one for you as well. So there's a lot of news on Solana, right? And it's showing that Solana is quite volatile. I think if it drops, I think Solana is going to drop quite hard. I really do. I do think after that, the next entries, these entries that are coming down and the next pullbacks that we're getting down, we're going to focus a lot on long-term and, just reshuffling the portfolio. But for now, your short-term portfolio should be very active. The market's really good right now. It's really volatile. And we're just tracking. Do you see I choose the obvious ones? I could have went live yesterday. I could have shorted. I could have this. I could have that. No. 1, 2, 3. Let me get the right line so I can get the right accuracy. And at least if I can start giving you guys this in advance, you can start prepping for it. You can start understanding it so that there's no rush. There's no this. There's no mess. None of that sort of stuff. Here's the AVAX one for you guys as well. So I'll be focusing on the rest. So guys, let me know. Please remember, I'm going to be playing games in the live show later as well. Either later or it'll be in a few hours. We'll see how it goes. But I've given you guys it there. I've given it all. Go rewatch the video, learn your damn stop losses. You don't have to make it high risk. If you want to do a 1x and you just want to learn how to short, that's exactly what you do. Do this comfortably, big boy pants, education purposes only, no financial advice. If you agree with me on this, you're more than welcome to join, as long as you've done your own research. But guys, it's massive. We got this together. Let's not stop. A small little stop loss doesn't worry me, and these sort of things. I want to be consistent for the rest of the year. So Banter fam, I love you lots. Smash that like, smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you all later. Notification bell on. Much love, Banter fam. I'm out.